What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 104 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast. I need to just listen for 1 second, make sure that our audio is coming through. Usually we have, okay. Yep, I think the audio is coming through good enough. Actually, I'm going to leave that plugged in in case we have some people on Slack. Hello, I'm here with my two brothers, Christian and Matt, to discuss stories from around the soccer world. My name is Dave. Can't remember if I said that. Christian, hello.
Hello.
Matthew, hello.
Hi, I'm Matt.
There you go. There's Matt. We just watched Liverpool versus United. I think we'll probably talk about that on the podcast. So I think we're ready. Christian has the trivia question. I have sent out the tweet promoting this podcast. If you are joining us live on YouTube, please interact with us as we go along here. Say hello, ask us things, chime in on anything we are discussing. We would greatly appreciate that. And it'll just add a ton of fun to this whole experience. I am retweeting it to get more people involved. And I think we're ready to go. Guys, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 104 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast. My name is Dave Knittel, and I'm here with my two brothers, Christian and Matt, to discuss stories from around the soccer world. Christian, hello. How are you doing today?
Hello, Dave. I couldn't be any better after today. I mean, Liverpool beating United is just the best time of year.
Yeah. So I just noticed, why did you get out of your Liverpool kit? You got
it's really staticky.
Okay.
I don't like having it on after games.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie. All right, Matt, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks for asking. I graduated college yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
So I started this morning off by drinking a little bit.
Yeah, I think you did yesterday as well. Yesterday evening.
Cheers.
Did we drink yesterday?
We didn't, but I just assumed you did.
No, I don't think so.
No. So that sounds like
all right.
Yes.
Yeah. So check out our Instagram. We put up a photo of us up at Penn State celebrating with Matthew, and say hello and all that. Guys, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Running on a little bit of sleep, not a ton of sleep. Got up, went to church with mom and dad this morning, then went and watched the Liverpool game. So I'm ready to get to this thing. I'm a little hot. I'm wearing my Santa hat, and I'm a little hot, and I'm just realizing that right now. But I've committed to it. The hair is going to be a mess, so we're just going to roll with it. Christian, do you have our trivia question this week?
I do have the trivia question. The trivia question this week is about a player who played today called Mohamed Salah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. So he didn't have a goal or an assist today at Anfield. But do you know how many in 39 games now he does have total?
Matches at Anfield?
No. Goals and assists combined.
Over the last 39 games?
Yes.
Okay. Why 39?
That's how many games he's played at Anfield.
So at Anfield.
That's what I said.
Okay. Didn't I just ask him?
Yeah.
He said no? Okay. All right. 39 matches at Anfield. Okay. All right. We will think on that, listeners. You'll think. We'll give our guesses at the end. All right. I'm going to kick it over to Matt for his segment here.
Hi, hey, everyone. Welcome to Matt's Megs. Sorry, I forgot the name of my segment for a second because Dave usually introduces it as, the name. But hi, welcome to Matt's Megs. Today we're going to be talking a little Champions League. The group stage just concluded this week.
This
past week. So the 16 teams are through to the next stage. The draw has not happened yet. Before we talk about the draw, I just want to get a general conversation of everything Champions League so far. Are you guys surprised with any of the 16 teams that went through?
No. So I'll just jump in. No. And that's kind of disappointing. I would have liked to have seen, I don't know, somebody small or really random kind of come through, but really kind of all the big teams made it through. Christian, I think you said every single favorite came through out of the groups,
all the top two teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So
even Ajax was the top two?
Yeah, because AEK was in that group, right? Yeah. And who was the other team? It wasn't a huge,
it wasn't anybody
team. So I'm not surprised. I don't know, Christian.
Yeah, I was probably hoping for a little bit more excitement out of maybe a lower level team.
I think it'll be more exciting.
Yeah, actually, that's a good
round
point.
Of 16 now, because all the teams you expect to be there are there. It's going to be a powerhouse battle in the round of 16, and I don't think there's going to be any easy matchups really.
Yeah. So right now I'm looking at the draw, the teams that everyone could possibly draw. Mm-hmm. I'll start with you guys with Liverpool, as you guys are Liverpool fans. So the teams Liverpool can face are Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Juventus, Real Madrid, and Porto. So, I mean, obviously we're going to go with Porto is what you would like to have, but are you guys concerned, or what do you guys think about your draw going forward?
Go ahead. I went first last time.
My biggest concern team-wise would probably be Barcelona and Juventus. Those two, I think, are the top teams that we can play in the round of 16. And none of the other teams are really that great right now. Dortmund are playing very well in the league, but I really am not that afraid of them and Bayern. I don't think the Bundesliga has really been that top quality of a league recently, and it shows in Europe. They haven't been progressing very far.
I mean, Dortmund did finish ahead of Atletico.
Okay.
Yeah, Dortmund's having a good
But I
season.
feel like Atletico, yeah, they're playing well in their league, but they haven't really looked as dominant as they had in the past.
Yeah, I don't really have too much else to add. I mean, I'm kind of in the same camp. I think it would be really interesting to get Madrid just going through everything that they've gone through this year and their ups and downs, and kind of having that redemption chance from the Champions League final from last year. So I'd be excited about getting them from that perspective. Be excited about getting Porto, just because I think they're probably the weakest opposition they could get, and then. And then everything else Christian said, so I don't want to harp on it. So, that's kind of my thoughts. What about you in City?
Yeah, so luckily for me, Man City have a relatively, I mean, it's still probably top 16 teams in the world, but I feel like they have maybe the easiest possible draw because they can't play any of the English teams in the round of 16. So they can only draw Atletico Madrid, which I think is the only team that could potentially be a threat, Schalke, Roma, and Ajax. I mean, Atletico Madrid is the only one where I would say would give us a run for our money potentially, but even then, I think City is still better at this point. And in the Champions League, you're going to have to beat great teams. It's not like you can avoid everyone to the end. You're going to have to beat great teams. So I'm a fan of the matchups that City could get. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah, no, if I was a City fan, I'd be pretty excited about those teams.
Yeah, and the draw is
extremely unlucky if you get Atletico.
Yeah,
that's like the only.
I'd be really excited to see that matchup, though. I just feel like
they're opposites.
Yeah, exactly. They're so opposite, and I feel like Simone could figure out a way to seriously frustrate City in a way that we've seen a lot of times the teams that sit back against City do not do well. But I feel like Atletico could figure out a system where they could still sit back and frustrate City and then still do well. So
was Simeone in Spain when Pep was there? I can't even remember if they were there at the same time. I
feel like they would have been.
Really?
I mean, they're kind of similar ages. Do you mean managing or playing?
Managing.
Oh, managing. I'm not sure managing. I thought you meant played against each other.
No, so I don't know if they've actually had that matchup yet, but I know Simeone came in and really broke Barcelona's just dominance over the league and found out a way to play against them. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the group stage, who do you think is the favorite at this point?
I still think it's City. I think that I say it, every time this comes up, they're the deepest team in Europe. And for a competition like the Champions League, which is played over the course of the season, there's going to be a lot of games, especially in England over the next few weeks and months. They're going to have injuries. All teams are going to have injuries. And so I just like City just from the standpoint of just how deep they are.
All right, Christian?
I think Barcelona are the favorites this year. I think Messi's really fired up to try and win it again. I think people have kind of questioned his legacy recently, which is just insane.
Like Pele.
And I think he really, you can just see it in his eyes when he's playing in the Champions League this year. That's the one that they want more than anything.
Yeah. So the reason I'm gonna say City is because they, in the next 2 months, there's gonna be teams that they're going to have injuries. They're going to have dips in form. But City have already had to deal with Kevin De Bruyne being out, Benjamin Mendy being out, and Aguero being out already this season for Champions League games. So I think them already proving that they can play without maybe 3 of their best 5 players is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
so I think that right there is going to show and they're all going to be back. Hopefully, I mean Aguero could get hurt at any point, which we have seen over the last 7 years.
Well, at this point, is Mendy injury prone too? I feel like he's, had a bunch of.
I don't even know what he's injured with right now.
I don't know either. Do you?
He tore his other knee ligament.
Oh, geez.
He had surgery. He's out for the season.
No, what? Benjamin Mendy?
Yes. He did the same thing he did to his other knee last year.
I thought he was out for a couple weeks.
I thought he was out for All right,
we'll look into that. We'll
sure.
circle back on that conversation. But I'm with Matt there.
But for that reason, also, I will say, do you want to say something?
No, are we sticking on City or are you going to say
No, I was going to switch.
Okay, I was going to switch too.
Okay. What team are you going to talk about? Juve was who I was going to talk about.
So you go ahead.
All right, I was going to say, because Juve has had an incredible year. I don't know. Wait, Mendy's
3 months right now.
Okay, so that should be back for Champions League knockout. So Mendy will be back for Champions League.
Yeah, just circling back on that. But Juve.
Yeah, so Juve, I think they've had an incredible year, and I know obviously bringing Ronaldo, who has won, so many at Madrid, and it's a team game. But do you think he's going to be the reason why Madrid are bad? Well, not bad, but
bad.
not have their success. And why Juve can have that success. Do you think it rests so much on him, or do you think it's other reasons?
Do you want to go?
Sure. I think that there are other reasons. It makes sense that there would be, but I think he's a huge factor. He's one of and might be the best Champions League player of all time, just based off of stats. You just look at him. He always scores goals. He's always up for the big moments in the Champions League, especially in the knockouts. And it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that too. Juve, what did they go to semis last year? I mean, they're perennially at least quarterfinals. They contested a couple finals. They still have a lot of players from those teams, and you add in a player like Ronaldo to that already existing ecosystem.
And they brought back Bonucci,
exactly. So I feel like they're getting their props, but I feel like a lot of people, us included, are focusing on Barca and City, and Juve really deserves to be mentioned right in there. So they're definitely another one.
All right. So where do you guys think about so PSG topped the group of death? Where do you guys rate PSG?
I would rate them in the group with Bayern right now. Bayern and Liverpool, that sort of chunk right below the favorites. I think they can still win, but they're just. I don't think they just haven't proven that they can compete at that level. And I know City hasn't either, but I just the depth with City, I think, bumps them up to being favorites. And as talented as PSG's first team is, there are some question marks for me. And so that's why I put them in the group kind of with Liverpool and Bayern.
That's why I have them in that group as well. I think Pep's management also is a big factor on why City's there, even though they haven't proven it as a squad. They have the talent, they have the depth, they have the manager. I think that they're ready to take that step and really win the competition finally. But I think Juventus, we're talking about Juventus.
Yeah, we're talking about Juventus.
And then PSG, sorry. PSG, there's something about them that just doesn't give me confidence that they can push all the way through. They have such talent, but there's something missing. And you saw at the game at Anfield, they just looked lost. And I know the game ended 3-2, but that flattered PSG substantially because Liverpool destroyed them. Yeah, they were up for it in Paris, but there's something off. And I don't know if it's their front line, they all don't get along, and sometimes they're a little bit too selfish, or maybe they just lack that steal in midfield. There's something off about the team as a whole.
Is there anything we talked about Juve with Ronaldo? I mean, PSG picking up Buffon, does he do anything to bump them up because of all of his experience, or no? You still think there's something?
He never won a Champions League either, so I don't really know if that. I mean, that's harsh, but he's obviously going to add to their goalkeeping. He is a world-class goalkeeper, arguably the best or top 5 probably all time, honestly. But he's older now. He has the experience. He has the leadership skills for them. But they still are lacking, I think, maybe a vocal leader in the midfield. There is something missing on that team.
Okay. So what you guys are saying, so as of right now, you guys both have City and Barca as the 2 favorites.
And Juve.
And Juve? Okay. I wasn't sure where you guys had Juve. And then you have Bayern, PSG in the next.
And Madrid and Liverpool.
Yeah, Atletico was in there too.
Wait, Atletico or Real?
I have them in the second.
I would put Atletico and Real in that same group, to be honest. That second tier, and then kind of the outsiders would be Dortmund's a weird one because I'm trying to think.
They might be in that second now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a tough time putting them there. I feel like they're in the next class down, but they're kind of by themselves in that class. Like Schalke, I feel like Schalke's below them. I feel like Ajax is below them. Porto would all be below them.
Yep.
So it's tough for me. United, we haven't even mentioned United.
Who?
And Tottenham, I feel like maybe United, Tottenham, and Dortmund might be in that third tier, but I feel like that's harsh on Tottenham and Dortmund. Because United's a goddamn mess right now.
Well, then Lyon, I'm trying to think of the other teams. I mean, they're probably the bottom.
They're really dependent on Fekir. I think they're too one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think I agree. So I think we got everyone's ideas. So okay, so who do you think will be top scorer? I'll just say that.
top scorer, like player wise.
Yeah.
It's so tough for me. I don't even know who it, because
Depends
like
who advances, right?
rotating and all of that. So it's tough to predict. I mean, I guess I'll pick Aguero because I have City. I think City's going to go the farthest.
How many goals does he have?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. You know,
So for me, I'm just
Lewandowski
gonna
has
assume.
8 goals already in the group stage. So like if they advance to the quarterfinals, he might even have enough.
That's a good
That's
point.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Messi already has 6.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I guess
it's
Messi's
just-
probably a safe bet
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Aguero.
Oh wow.
'Cause that's what I said first
Dave
without
doesn't play it
thinking.
safe.
Yeah, without thinking, and going to stick with that.
Yeah, I think just Messi because it's Messi.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard about him, you should look up his
Yeah.
highlights.
I
very
think
good.
I think it's this year. I think he's going to go off in the Champions League and dominate the knockouts.
All right.
And it's going to be scary,
All right.
but
Fun.
lovely.
I think that's going to conclude Matt's Megs here. Thanks for joining me. Listen to a little bit of music, and we'll be right back.
All right, cool. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Okay. That's all gone. Bye-bye.
How's it going?
All right,
We have another
I'm
one.
just gonna
Another one. I'm gonna buy that for me now.
He's definitely going to be fast.
Yeah.
They said it's gonna cost me like 300K, but I'm get it
For Mendy?
for me now.
For Mendy to be back.
I need to have that card. I don't care.
Okay. Christian's talking FIFA. Anyone out there play Ultimate Team? Let us know in the comment section of the
Or go to our
chat.
Twitch channel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Go to the gaming.
Yes.
Right? We have gaming, or is it only Twitch?
It's Twitch. What do you mean?
I thought we had a gaming one too.
What's a gaming?
Like EA gaming? What do you mean? Like electronic gaming?
What?
Esports?
Sure.
But wait, what? Twitch is so yeah. Twitch is
No. I mean, as a channel on Slack.
okay. Oh! You're talking about Slack.
Did I say Twitch?
Yeah, you
I
said
meant-
Twitch.
sorry,
Okay,
I
so we're getting a
meant
little confused
Slack.
here. Okay, yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
They're all
you
these
are correct.
one-syllable words. It's just so hard to keep up these days.
Words are tough. Words are very
yeah, so
tough.
if you go to Slack, we have a gaming, or is
Yes.
it, okay, we have a gaming channel that you should check out
Yeah,
and let us know and talk about some FIFA or whatever other games you want to talk about.
FIFA gaming. Oh yeah, no, we do. You're right, Christian. We have a FIFA gaming
And
and
a
a
Twitch.
Twitch. That's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
We will figure that out and condense that into one. But also follow us on Twitch and watch us.
And engage.
You'll only see Dave, so I'm sorry, but
Well, no,
I'm
I
here
bought
now.
you guys.
I'm here, yeah.
Connect, so you can stream whenever you would
wait,
like.
is it used to connect?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
That's why I bought you. Well, yeah, that's why I bought you the
Yeah,
Connect.
you didn't buy me anything.
I bought you a headset.
It doesn't
you
work.
motherfucker.
It
What?
works.
What?
Oh my God. All right. Let's get back to the podcast because I'm finding things out that is annoying. Oh yeah. You guys do the Stadium Scene plug. Sorry, forgot about that. Go.
Check out our partner Stadium Scene at stadiumscene.tv. They have a bunch of information on any stadium you could be going to in the US and Canada. You can see bars in the area, where to park, what to do around the stadium, any events in the area. Definitely go check them out. They help us out, and I want you to help them out.
Additionally, they partner with content creators like us to offer all different kinds of sports content, like blogs, podcasts, similar to this. What we're doing is a podcast. And it's about, videos about all different types of sports. It's not just soccer, all sports, mainly North American
Sports.
based sports. But yeah, it's a great site. I recommend you check it out.
All right. Good stuff. I don't know what is going on with my mouse. I think because I spilled some shit on here. It's freaking out, but we're gonna push through. Christian. I think
I thought you said with my mouths, and
Mouths.
that's why I
all
was like,
mouths.
so many, so many mouths. All right.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Ready. Bam.
Hey, everybody, welcome back from that break. It's time for Christian's Corner. Only one topic this time, but it's going to go deep. So get ready, strap in, and let's begin.
You might say it's a deep dive.
no, that's
Okay,
you.
so we're going to move on from that. So this week, I believe it was this week, ESPN released their top 100 players currently in the soccer world. They broke out by goalkeeper, right back, center back, left back, central midfield, attacking midfield, wide forwards, strikers, and managers. They ranked all of them, top 10 of each of those, and we're going to go through them here. Okay, guys?
Sounds wonderful.
I want to let you know my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts,
Okay.
and I want to hear what you disagree with and who you do agree with.
And listeners, let us know either if you're tuning in live in the chat feature or hit us up on Twitter. Let us know your thoughts at BT Soccer Pod.
Absolutely. So we'll start with the goalkeepers. Go back to front. All right. You guys ready? You
Yeah.
excited?
Yeah.
All right. So goalkeepers, it is ranked. Number 1 is David De Gea. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go through them first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, are we
So-
going through?
I
Are we going through all 100
Hey, it's Christian's
players?
corner. I
I'm
think
just
we
going
are.
through I'm not going through the 100 players. I'm just going through each position.
And you're gonna
Each
say all 10.
I was gonna just read them and
Yeah.
then hear what you
So
say.
that's
we are
all
going
100
through
players,
100.
but that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
we're on board. Hey,
Okay.
we
Ready?
got this.
You guys ready?
I'm so prepared.
Okay.
It's not even funny.
Sorry, listeners. I don't know why they're being weird. All right. So number 1 is David De Gea. 2 is Jan Oblak. 3 is Thibaut Courtois. 4 is Alisson Becker. 5, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. 6, Ederson. 7, Manuel Neuer. 8, Hugo Lloris. 9, Gianluigi Buffon. And 10, Keylor Navas.
Can
You
I
like
just
my
say,
accent?
as you went along, I felt like you picked up the accent more and more.
That's
So
because
that was
they
funny.
became more accent needed towards the end.
I feel like they all became a French accent
Yeah,
too.
but
They all became French. Oh, after Hugo Lloris. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They all became French. Okay. So I'll start with you, Dave.
okay.
Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? Who do you think's left off in that list?
So I feel like most of these, I'm okay with the top 10. I would maybe move Courtois down a little bit. I haven't watched too much of him at Madrid, but I feel like he's been, a little bit spotty with his form. So I might move, Alisson up. I might move Ter Stegen up. But really, these top 10, I think I pretty much agree with. It's surprising to see Neuer that low because of how dominant he's been. But really, I think 7 might be accurate just for, coming back from injury and his performances. So I don't really have a ton to correct here.
Matt, what do you think about the goalkeepers?
I think it's pretty much accurate. I mean, you're always going to have some disagreements with positioning, but I mean, it's pretty opinionated. I think these are the 10 best goalkeepers, or they're all should be considered for a top 10 argument. But there's always a little bit of leeway. I think it's a fair list. I think De Gea is obviously number 1. I know he has 2 clean sheets this year.
Yeah, we
in the
saw
league.
that.
Yeah, which isn't good, but you also have to consider that United is
isn't good.
absolutely horrible
Yeah.
this year, and it's just hanging him to dry.
So do you think a player like Chesney is left off, and he's a starter for Juventus right now who's playing very, very well? Do you think that's a slap in the face for him? Because Keylor Navas isn't even seeing the field.
Well, Navas did start the year at Madrid, and then Courtois was on the bench, and then he eventually came back. And Navas also was goalie of the year last year, and things like that. So I think he should even be higher on that list, and I think he's on par with Courtois. I think Courtois should be lower, but the rest of it I think is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
agree.
All right. I think that the top is pretty accurate. I think Courtois, I agree, might drop a little bit, but I do think he's a world-class goalkeeper. Neuer is just weird to me. I always expect to see him higher, and I think that he is probably the best, if not one of the best.
Yeah, we'll let that on the screen.
Okay. Goalkeepers in the world. He's probably top 3 once he's healthy and fully integrated in the squad again, but he still seems to be coming back from his injuries.
Yeah.
And I think 7 probably makes sense just based off of that. But if you just look at his overall quality, it's not. It just seems wrong.
I agree. Just
Okay. We're going to move a little quicker.
Yeah.
So do you want me to just say positions of who you think, or no, I'll just go through quick.
Yeah, we'll just go through
Okay.
quick and maybe not.
So do you want me to
deep
do
dive
top
as much.
5?
Yeah, maybe
Okay,
top
we'll do
5,
top
and
5.
then
So for right backs, it's Danny Carvajal is number 1. Joshua Kimmich is number 2. 3 is Kyle Walker. 4 is Benjamin Pavard. And 5 is Danny Alves. Any surprises in there, Matt, for you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the top 4. I mean, I think that's pretty fine. I'm fine with all the top 4. Number 5, absolute joke. It's the laziest thing I've ever seen. It's which we'll address in a second, but it's like giving Ramos Defensive Player of the Year just because it's Ramos, and just giving him the award every single time because you have no idea how to judge defenders. I can't believe he's not even the best right back on his team. He may be the 3rd best right back on his team at this point, and you're giving him a top 5 spot. It's ridiculous.
So who would you put in there instead?
I'll just throw Meunier in there. Trippier has actually been good. He's the 6th spot. Meunier, whatever, however you want to say it. Yeah, I'll put him at 5. I think he's incredible. His physicality is incredible. He should be top 5.
Hey guys, I just want to apologize for Matt's lack of accent and his pronunciation of names. But Dave, what do you think about the list?
So I like Azpilicueta too. So yeah, I'm in complete agreement with Matt. The top four I'm okay with. Alves, I don't think deserves to still be that high. Matt already touched on the others, but Azpilicueta, just the variability in his game where he can play center back in a 3-back system. He can play outside back. He's so solid both ways. So I'll give him a shout out and maybe put him ahead of the other two, just because he's done it over a longer period of time and I think proven it a little bit more. So I'll say that.
I agree. Yeah, I think Dani Alves is too high as well. I think he was the best right back probably I've seen in my lifetime. Debatable with Lam.
Yeah.
Probably Lam. But those two were absolutely dominant when they were on their game. He doesn't deserve to be that high anymore. He's clearly slowed down, but he's a good player. Not taking that away from him. He's not that good anymore. And I think Joshua Kimmich should be number one. I think he is the best right back in the world right now. He's absolutely fantastic to watch and is the heir to Lam. So always fun to watch that, you know?
Or is he the hair to Lam?
Ooh.
Oh, a little German humor for you. Hey-o.
So Kyle Walker is a little weird one for me because I've never really rated him that high, but he has been playing well for the last year. So I feel like he has to be in there, but I don't know. I just really don't like him for some reason. There's something about his face. It's very punchable. All right. So Kieran Trippier is too high at 6, but we didn't go that far. So we're just going to move along here. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to go to center backs. You guys ready for center backs?
Yes.
Center backs are the most fun. Okay. So number 1 center back this year, Sergio Ramos. Number 2, Rafael Varane. 3, Diego Godin. 4, Virgil van Dijk, and 5, Giorgio Chiellini. Not Dave, right? Dave,
Yeah,
Dave's
sure,
starting this time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, Matt alluded to it earlier. I rate Varane as the top center back out there, and that's more just based on the way I like the game to be played at the center back position. I like it to be read well. I like it to be players in the proper position and have the ability, the physicality, the sprint speed or whatever to make recoveries, but not always have to use that. And I think Varane just plays a much more, I can't think of the right word, but he just reads the game so well. And I like the way that he plays over Ramos. So I'd move him ahead of Ramos. I'd also move Van Dijk up to 2. Just because I just what he's done with Liverpool has been amazing. And then I would probably put Godin, who apparently hasn't had a great season. I haven't followed too much. Then Ramos, and then Chiellini. So again, I'm fine with the top 5. It's just order wise, and I know we're going long, so I apologize for talking.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, I agree with probably 4 of the top 5. The only one I'd probably take out. Well, 1, I drop Ramos a little bit lower in that top 5, maybe closer to like 4 or 5. Chiellini, I think, should not be up there. I think Koulibaly is the best defender in Serie A. I think I'm sorry I have to say this, but I think John Stones is up there. I mean, obviously, I think Van Dijk is the best center back in the Premier League. I think John Stones is a clear second. He didn't make the top 10. They threw Vertonghen in there for whatever reason, because first of all, nobody knows how to rate defenders. They just pick, somebody said this guy is good, and they talk about him for 10 years for defenders and don't actually watch. So I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that, but I think John Stones deserves to be in the top 10. Maybe not as high as I said, but I think he's a great defender. Koulibaly in top 5, and maybe Chiellini is the only one that would drop.
I like that Matt apologized before he said it, but I would like him to apologize again because John Stones is not a top 10 center back in the world. I think Koulibaly is right. I think that is a top 5 center back. I think Koulibaly is really, really talented. You saw it again against Liverpool at Anfield this week. He really, really reads the game well. He's physically imposing, and he dominated Salah other than the goal, which Salah kind of embarrassed him. But other than that, he was absolutely fantastic. Gerard Piqué at 6 is a joke. He is not a top 10 center back anymore. He hasn't been a top 10 center back since Puyol left. That's ridiculous. Van Dijk and Varane, I agree, are 1 and 2. Probably switch the order I said it. Exactly what Dave said. Varane number 1. Van Dijk is 2. Ramos is probably down at 4 or 5. And I would say Godin is probably right at 3. Okay. All right. Ready?
That would be like 45 minutes.
Yeah, the segment might run long. We might
let's skip some. All right, let's go.
We can either skip some or we can take some out of mine, because I really like this discussion and I'm not thrilled with my segment. So maybe Dave's dive will continue the dive And maybe once we get to halfway through this, then we'll cut Christian's segment, go to a break, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
So yeah, do you want to pick some that you're excited about, and then I can take, or do you want to keep doing defenders?
Yeah, sure. And I'll do up to center midfielders,
right.
and you can do
sounds
whatever.
good. That sounds. We're editing on the fly here, people.
All right,
Yeah.
changing it up. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Left back.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish up the defenders here, and I know everybody. This is your favorite position, left back, right?
Obviously.
I mean,
love left back.
how do
Is there
you
any other
how
position?
do you underrate a left back? Like, it's crazy.
You can't.
All right, you can't. It's impossible. All right, so number 1 left back in the world right now, Marcelo. All right. Number 2, David Alaba. 3, Jordi Alba. 4, Alex Sandro. And 5, Benjamin Mendy. Matthew, we'll start with you here.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep reiterating what I said with people just pick defenders that are the top and don't change it for any reason. So I know Alaba did not have a great season last year. Marcelo at 1, that's a lock. He's been incredible for the last couple of years. He's, I think, by far and away the best left back in the world. He defends well now. He gets forward so well. I think there's no argument for the best left back. David Alba, like I said, I don't think he had the best of years. Maybe drop him out of the top 5. Alex Sandro top was, I think, 4. And I remember last year he wasn't even playing at one point. And when he did play, he was playing left wing. It doesn't make sense. It's just, I feel like they just stick with the same people. Benjamin Mendy, he's been hurt, but I think when he's healthy, he's a top 3 left back. He rounded out the top 5. I think going forward, there's maybe not a better left back in the world. I think Robertson should maybe get a top 5 spot, and Marcus Alonso. I think those two, and probably drop out Alaba and Sandro.
Dave?
So first off, I can't believe Alaba's only 26. Oh my God.
I know. He's been around forever.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I didn't realize he was still that young. Second of all, what is this list? Like, is this
It's ESPN.
just, no, I know, but like, what is the criteria? Just how they performed last year? What's their current status?
I think it's
How they performed last
current.
year?
It's current ranking.
How good they are right now.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if that's the case, I would maybe leave Alaba still top 5. I think you can drop him down maybe a little bit based on what Matt said. But Alexandra, I think you can drop out. And for me, Mendy is just, he has so much talent, but he's gotten injured a bunch. And I haven't seen it over a long enough period of time to really put him, I think, in the top 5. I know as crazy as that might seem to you, Matt, I think on his day, he can be really good, but I just haven't seen enough of it. And so I think I don't rate Alonso that highly. I think he's an incredible attacking outside back, but I don't really like him defensively. And I think Chelsea does a lot of things to hide that. So I would move Robertson and Luis actually up higher and maybe drop down. So move them up into the top 5 and maybe drop out Sandro and
Luis for you guys.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, definitely not David Luis. Maybe drop out Benjamin Mendy. But yeah, I think we're just getting semantical here.
Ooh, we're getting semantical.
Yeah, definitely a word. 100% a word.
Yeah, I think that Marcelo is clearly the number 1 left back in the world right now, and I'm shocked he's still only 30. Speaking of people who have been around forever, oh my God. So Marcelo really has developed his defensive side of his game. He's always been a very good attacking option on the left, but he has become an all-around great left back. I think David Alba is too high. I think Jordi Alba is probably the second best left back in the world. He had an incredible year again last year and then somehow got dropped by Spain, which makes no sense, but he has been absolutely excellent. I'd probably put Alba down around 5. I think that Alexandro and Mendy are too high only because Mendy is injury prone. We don't see enough of him, and it's hard to really judge based off of that. I think Andy Robertson deserves to be that high. I really do think that he should be the number 3 left back in the world right now. And I actually do rate Marcus Alonso highly. I think he should be up that high. He plays at center back sometimes. In a 3-back system. Yeah, they play him at center. They play him there.
They put Azpilicueta as a center back.
They used him there sometimes too.
Right.
But I think that he is really that talented, and he should probably be around 5, maybe Alaba 4.
Matt, any response on the Mendy comments?
If he plays 32 games, he is going to shatter the assist record. He will have 25 assists in a season. It's like, I don't know what you guys like. If you watch it, he creates something every time he touches the ball. From a left back position, I've never seen somebody cross the ball quite like him.
Yeah, he does have a really incredible delivery, but again, holistically, as a defender, like I don't know how good he is as a defender, and that's from playing in Pep's system, that they don't have to defend as much, and so that's why I don't know. I don't know if I'm penalizing him for playing in Pep's
that's
system.
The same thing Marcelo does. I mean, because like our center defensive mid, it's the same thing. Fernandinho and Casemiro do the same thing, where they're supposed to play higher and then track back, and then the center defensive mid kind of slots into that left back role.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And yeah, I might just be holding that against Mendy, maybe because of the injury thing, or maybe because of the Pep thing.
System,
but yeah, I don't know. But for me, I just haven't seen enough over a long enough period of time, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
One more.
Yeah, sure. I will do close out center mids. So
defensive
center
mids.
This is
they just
all center mids.
Yeah,
so
but
it's CDMs and true center mids.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So in central midfield, number 1, Ballon d'Or winner Luka Modric. All right.
Did we ever talk about that in the podcast? By the way,
yeah, you were.
Oh, you weren't here last week.
Your throat hurt.
Your throat hurt.
Maddie wasn't feeling well.
Number 2, N'Golo Kante. 3, Toni Kroos. 4, Paul Pogba. 5, Sergio Busquets. Matt. Yeah, Matt. I'll start with you this time. What do you think about that top 5 center midfield?
Yeah, so I agree with the top 4. Probably to a T.
You got Pogba that high?
Yeah, I rate Pogba so high.
Just because of Mourinho, that's why.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you watch him, I mean, he won the World Cup. He was clearly the best midfielder for France. I know Conte does everything he does well, but he was clearly the best midfielder for France. I know Conte performs so consistently each week in, week out. So I think him being as high as he is a fair rating. But in terms of talent, I think there's nobody on this list is close to Pogba. I know he's not consistent, so that's why I understand why he's in the top 5.
You mean people below him?
No, even above him.
Gifts wise,
yeah, talent.
Talent. Okay.
Like what he can do with the ball and going forward, what he can create on his day, he is, I think, by far better than like the rest of these center mids. But Busquets, I don't think should be in the top 5. I think I would be fine with the way Thiago played last year or Casemiro. I think those two are better shouts. I don't know why Fernandinho's not in. He's so consistent year after year. Yeah, they put Verratti and like Jorginho in the top 10 and don't even consider Fernandinho. Or I think Fernandinho's been competing at like a certain consistency and form for probably like 3 or 4 years now.
I think he might be City's most important player. As
he plays
crazy as
well, and the thing is, I think he's one of City's most important players because when he's out, we don't have a proper sub for him.
Well,
whereas
exactly,
and every other position we do kind of have a backup or plan B. Whereas Fernandinho and maybe Mendy, those are the two where when they're out, we're like, oh wow, we really need them.
Yeah.
So I think he's the only one that I think was kind of disrespected with this list.
Yeah, so I agree with the top 3. Pogba, I have to drop down. Again, God-given talents and all of that, he deserves to be higher, but just the way the season has gone, I think he's got to drop out of the top 5. Busquets and Rakitic, who are 5 and 6, just they're getting older. They're not quite as mobile. Busquets in particular, like I feel like it's more of like a lifetime achievement award that he's included here because he's not a top 5 midfielder anymore. And I agree with Matt. Probably for me, I'd slide in Casemiro and Fernandinho into the top 5 and put Pogba right outside that. So, Christian.
Okay. I think I'm going to disagree a little bit here. So I think I guess you have to leave Modric in for the year that he had last year, but he is not the best center midfielder in the world. I'm sorry. It's just not the case. I think Toni Kroos on his team is better than him when he's on his game. And honestly, I probably would put Conte and Kroos at 1 and 2. I think they are absolutely brilliant center midfielders, all action, both sides of the ball, except for Conte's finishing. That's the only thing.
He's getting goals. Getting goals for Chelsea.
I think Pogba is absolutely fantastic when he's on and in the right system, but he's not right now, and you can't keep him that high if he's not playing and he's not playing at the level that you expect him to. I think Busquets, I agree, is too high. I don't think that he is a top 5, But I do think Ivan Rakitic is. I think he is a really, really, really good midfielder that is very undervalued in the world. And he kind of reminds me of how Dirk Kuyt was undervalued back in the day. I think Rakitic is probably better overall.
But say, like,
no. He was never top 5. But and my last one I'd probably put in the top 5 would be Verratti, actually. I think he's really, really good. I think people underrate him so much.
For me, he's so ill-disciplined on the field in picking up yellow cards and then like picking up like just needless tackles sometimes, or just like overly aggressive to the point where it's idiotic. And so I always hold that against him. He is a really tidy player in a lot of different ways, but for me, that piece of his game has always really bothered me from a position that really needs to be smart. Like, and I feel like he's a smart player, but he goes over the top into aggressive. Into aggressive sometimes.
I will say that's what Fernandinho has changed since Pep has been there. He used to get probably a lot more cards than when Pep came. He's been a lot smarter about fouls.
Yeah.
So I think,
if Fabinho keeps playing like he did today, right? He's going to be in. No, I'm kidding. All right. So I guess we're going to wrap up my section here, and we'll hear a little bit of music, and Dave will wrap it up for us with the rest of the attacking players.
You like that? I tied a little bow there.
And then you're going to dive in.
Yeah, we're going to dive into the rest of this. Okay. I'm going to do a quick plug for FNX.network. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dave here, giving a plug for our other partner, FNX.network. FNX.network is a website that has stories, podcasts, and all different kinds of content about a variety of topics, not just sports. They also have entertainment, video games, lifestyle, tech, and more. All of that is available on FNX.network. Our stuff is there as well as everyone else's. Go check it out. All right. God, people are just missing this. I mean, this is just great stuff, guys, and you're gonna be sad.
Oh my God, but it's so sad.
So you left off at midfielders. So I'm gonna scrap. I mean, the Dembele shit, I really don't care about. Then the Ottawa Fury thing, I feel like it's just like a me
thing.
Because
Dembele had such a great week.
Yeah,
you can mention it.
Yeah, the only thing I do, I might still bring up the Stu Holden and Steve Nash thing because I think it's an interesting conversation, but we'll see how long it goes. I
didn't even know that happened.
What?
Steve Nash? What?
No.
Yeah, they commented on the game. The Tottenham versus Barca game, which was like a big game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
is it commented or commentated?
Commentated,
probably. Did I say commented?
Yeah, I was like, I mean, they can make comments.
They made comments after the game?
Yeah, they made some comments. Just
fair enough.
Okay. So we got to do this on the fly here. Okay. Start. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
You're rubbing your beard. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Dave's Dive. Adjusting on the fly here as we podcast. I am picking up where Christian left off on the top 100 ESPN FC players. We're talking about attacking midfielders now. Top 5 were Kevin De Bruyne, Isco from Real Madrid, David Silva from Man City, Felipe Coutinho from Barca, and number 5 was Christian Eriksen. Don't know why I started throwing in team names there, but
just rotating a couple of
Christian, how do you feel about those top 5?
Honestly,
sorry, I just saw number 6 for a second and just sorry.
Honestly, I have to say they nailed it. I think all 5 of these are in the perfect order. Isco hasn't had the best start this year, so
but he was incredible.
He was incredible last year. So honestly, I'd probably put him at 5 right now and move each of them up 1. I think Eriksen's absolutely brilliant, and he will not stay at Spurs past this season. He'll either go to Madrid or Barcelona. He's too good. No offense to Spurs. He's too good for that team.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Felipe Coutinho, I mean, everybody knows how I feel about him. He's absolutely brilliant. David Silva and De Bruyne are probably 1 and 2, and they're just the best at what they do.
Matt?
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I feel like people don't really rate David Silva that highly on like awards. Like he was only like team of the season like once in the Premier League, and he doesn't really get talked about. Like, he's never really talked about as, you know, the greatest player because he's not very flashy, but I think everything he does is just so perfect and like so right. Every touch he makes. I mean, I'm not going to say he was
similar to Iniesta.
I was actually, damn it, Christian. I was going to say that. I'm not going to say
but I wanted to take the credit.
I'm not going to say he is Iniesta because I think Iniesta was slightly better. Slightly. I mean, I think David Silva has been great for such an extended period of time. I think they're similar, and I think as he's gotten older, he's somehow gotten better, whereas Iniesta was, I think, at that level in his mid to early 20s, whereas Silva, as he got older, he kind of became more like Iniesta. But I think the top 5 is probably pretty spot on. Isco last year was just so good. I think the one, who was 5 again? Christian Eriksen. The only one I think I might drop Christian Eriksen to put James in, who I think is Bayern's best player. And I think he's a little bit underrated. Yeah. I think he's by far Bayern's best player.
Oh, I do not agree with that.
Interesting.
I mean, like I like follow a lot of Bayern accounts for some reason. I don't know how that came about. I follow a lot of Bayern accounts, but it seems like all the players like James is the guy.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I don't really have too much to add to what you guys already said. The only thing I want to add in, Bernardo Silva, it's just a hell of a player, and it's ridiculous that Man City has 3 of the top 7, and he is a perfect successor to David Silva as he ages. So,
and they have the same name.
Yeah,
so it's just like literally,
just
swoop.
Easy jersey sales. All right, next position we're talking about is wide forward. So this one's a little bit interesting.
Get me started.
Yeah. So number 1 is Sadio Mane. Number 2 is Leroy Sané. Number 3 is Raheem Sterling. Number 4 is Ivan Perisic, and number 5 is Marco Asensio. Matthew, how do you feel about that?
I don't even want to get started. First of all, this is a stupid category because the next category, what's it called?
Forwards.
Where's the next? It's forwards, who are basically wingers.
Yeah,
now you'll see.
I don't fully understand.
So I don't understand it. I think this is like just like
Like
this is basically
winger,
like
which is not right.
I didn't realize
the next 10 after the forwards. I feel like because it doesn't make much sense who they kind of put in this category, considering all of them are attacking wingers, and then the forwards are all also attacking wingers. So I don't even. I'll just say, if you're putting Mane as the best of all position, like everybody in this position, I just don't think that's accurate, considering he scored once in his last 10 games, and
he scored today though.
Today, yeah. So I just don't really put him that high. Sané has been kind of in and out, but I mean, the talent wise, it's been there.
So who do you put 1 then?
I'm looking at this list and like I can't even grasp it because the next.
I mean, I have a 1.
I'm just, sorry, Dave is scrolling through, and I honestly think the second 5 must kind of are better than the top 5.
Actually, that's a really interesting observation because,
so from the 1 through 5, which we named, and then 6 through 10 is Willian, Insigne, Ousmane Dembele, Marco Reus, and Douglas Costa. What?
Ousmane. You added Ousmane.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We were talking about Mane.
Yeah. Too many.
So
Manes.
Reus
Sané
and
Mane.
Douglas Costa, I think, have arguably been the best 2 of this group this year, and dating like through the summer. So those 2, I think, could be in the top 5. Insigne has been good. I think Sané should be in the top 5. And that might be my so Sané. Sorry, I'm scrolling through. Asensio has been awful this year.
Been terrible.
So I don't know why he's in the top 5, but yeah, I just don't like this group at all.
Okay, Christian, your thoughts on this category?
I actually think number 1 should be Marco Reus. I think this year he has been the best winger, and it's just hands down. He is that good. And actually, Ousmane Dembele deserves to be up there. I know he's got a lot of discipline issues, but Dave wanted to talk about.
We would have talked about it
during this segment, but I wanted to just give you a shout out there, Dave.
Thank
you.
You're
welcome.
I appreciate that.
But I took credit. So Ousmane Dembele, I think probably should be like 3 or 4. I probably will keep Mane at like 5, but I think he's off and on. I'll say.
Where are you putting Sterling?
Honestly,
I hate to say it, but I think that he's probably 4 right now, and I hate it.
I would put him at 2 or 3. But continue.
Yeah,
I hate my life.
I hate my life. That's what he said.
Yeah, so I'm going Royce. Oh my God. I don't know.
Okay.
Anymore.
Yeah. This category is a giant clusterfuck. So we're just gonna leave that as it is.
Let us know what you think, guys.
Yeah, let us know how you would have rated this, and then we'll lump this in with our next discussion.
Yeah,
So
what is a wide forward versus a forward? Because
so now we're going to talk about forwards, but then what's a striker?
You'll see.
All right, so at forward, number 1 is Lionel Messi. Ever heard of him? Number 2 is Cristiano Ronaldo. What? Okay, yeah. So Christian sent these, just taking a step back here. Christian sent us these in the middle of the second half of the Liverpool game. So this is the first time I'm seeing some of these.
It's supposed to be surprised.
Some of these lists. So number 2 is Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 3 is Kylian Mbappe. Number 4 is Eden Hazard. And number 5 is Antoine Griezmann. Okay, you're first now?
Yep.
Christian, thoughts on this?
Well, I'm just going to highlight the next 5 because I feel like we have to.
Yeah.
So Neymar, Salah, Bale, Firmino, and Dybala are the next 5. Which honestly, you can put
all
any of them
positions.
other than the top 2 in those final 3 positions. So I don't really know, but
why is Dybala not an attacking midfielder?
he should be. Well, I mean, he plays both, so I guess they just put him there.
Okay.
So I agree with Messi and Ronaldo being 1 and 2. They're the best players in the world right now, and they are. Like, I guess they do kind of play this forward position.
At this point, I think they both play striker. I would argue more.
No, Suarez still plays striker. I think Messi plays more of an all-around.
He's a second striker. Okay, whatever. All right, now we're getting.
But a forward is considered a striker.
Fine. Fair enough.
Mbappe at 3 is way too high. I know people will disagree with me probably, but I just don't think he's that good. I think Neymar deserves to be probably at 3, and Hazard at 4 makes sense. 5, I mean, it's a toss-up, really. You got to put it between, I think, Griezmann, Salah, and probably Mbappe. I think those are the next best players. And right now, I would obviously say Salah because he is good and he's scoring goals again. But I think you can put any of them in.
Fair enough. Matt, thoughts here?
Okay, so the top 2, simple. Get that out of the way. There's arguments over which 2. We're just going to disregard that for right now. 3, I'm going to put Neymar. I think it's so clear that Neymar is better than Mbappe since they play on the same team, and Neymar just has so much more production. And I don't know how they don't just look at the game. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, he won the World Cup, but come on now, let's be realistic. Hazard at 4, spot on. Griezmann, who I've always thought is overrated, should not be in the top 5. I think Salah is probably the 5th best considering last year's form and this year.
We disagree.
Yeah, Matt and Christian.
This
is breaking stuff.
I can't stand. Like, I don't know how you possibly are like a soccer critic or just expert, and you put Mbappe over Neymar. It's like, have you not watched a single game? Like, they're on the same team.
Yeah.
Like,
well, maybe that they're waiting the World Cup performance because I mean Mbappe was instrumental to France winning the World Cup. So I mean I think
it's 7 games.
Yeah. So I think the top 4. I'd agree with maybe drop Mbappe down. As much as this pains me to say, because Eden Hazard is so goddamn talented, but he's just not consistent. But maybe I'd bump him up to 3, and then you put Neymar and Mbappe at 4 and 5. So that's where I stand on that. Salah just outside of that. All right, moving on to, I guess we got manager after this, but striker. Number 1 is Harry Kane. Number 2 is Sergio Aguero. Number 3 is Edinson Cavani. Number 4 is Luis Suarez, and number 5 is Robert Lewandowski. Matthew, let's go with you first. Thoughts on Lukaku at 6? My goodness.
Yeah. So for me, it's like weird that Sergio Aguero is getting the credit he kind of deserved like 5 years ago at this point. I think Harry Kane at 1, that sounds pretty good. Aguero at 2, that seems a little high. I think maybe he's top 5, but 2 seems high. Cavani at 3, Suarez at 4. Hold up. Lewandowski at 5. Can we keep scrolling real quick?
They're all bad.
Yeah.
Don't keep scrolling.
Wow.
The top 5 are the top 5.
They are the top 5.
I just think the order.
Yeah, I would just switch up the order. I would probably put Lewandowski at. I still think Aguero is probably 2. I mean, he's just so lethal when he's on his game. And I like. Sorry, Christian. You
can go.
But I've also never thought that Aguero was like in Pep's system. Like, he's not a typical striker for his system, but he still
doesn't. Yeah, Pep never thought he was, and he just keeps playing him because he produces.
Yeah, I know,
right?
Which is like, I mean, I think Aguero has been great. I think he probably has been like a top 3 striker for a while, but it's weird to see him kind of start getting like more credit as he's kind of had a lesser role.
Yeah. So I'm okay with the top two. And then for me, I don't know what it is about Cavani, but I just don't rate him that highly. I think I would just go with Lewandowski at 3 and maybe just bump down Cavani to 4 and Suarez at 5. Suarez, I feel like age is starting to hit him. As good as he is, I just feel like it's starting to catch up to him a little bit more than Cavani, where they're both 31, but I don't know. I just feel like Cavani still seems to be, I don't know if it's more mobile. I haven't watched a ton, but for me, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah, so I guess that's what I would do. Just rearrange the top 5.
But the drop off from 6 to 10 was just
absolutely
it crazy
quick. Yeah, because Lukaku's just I don't know what the hell happened. Because I thought he had a pretty good year last year and just fell off under Jose Mourinho, and things are just spiraling. And then from there. But Christian, sorry, we haven't gotten your thoughts at all.
Okay, so top 5, I agree, is the top 5. And there is a huge drop-off after that. Yeah. But I have to say, no, they got it all wrong. Okay. I do not agree with Harry Kane being number 1. No.
Yeah, that's because you have this vendetta against Harry Kane.
No, he's not the best striker in the world. Lewandowski is number 1 and Suarez is number 2. They are the best strikers in the world still. 100%. 100%, no question.
Disagree.
Aguero is 3. And I guess Kane is at 4. He'd probably be the next one. And then Cavani is at 5. Okay. And I think there's a big drop off between, honestly, probably 3 and the rest. But those next couple are.
You think there's a huge drop off between Aguero and Harry Kane? I would take Harry Kane in a second.
I do not think he's that good.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Aguero scored the most important goal in our club's history, but Harry Kane is so good. He just scored. It makes no sense. He just scores whenever he wants.
So does Suarez and Lewandowski. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Kane deserves to be the best striker in the world right now.
Yeah, I really just don't agree.
All right, and that's what makes podcasts fun. So I don't think it makes sense to explore this further because we're both pretty all 3 of us are pretty dug in. I don't think we're going to convince you otherwise about Kane.
No.
And
I used to be a Harry Kane hater.
So I just didn't see it. And then all of a sudden he just started scoring.
That's
and at
the end of the day, nothing to see.
The end of the day, he's producing. I can't believe it. We're not even going to get into it because there's no reasoning with you.
No, you're just wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
The job of a striker is to score.
Okay, he scores. Cool. Whatever. What else does he do?
That's his job.
I don't care. He does not involve himself in the game enough for me to be a top 2 or 3 striker.
And I disagree. I think his hold-up play is underrated. There are so many times where he's being pressured by a center back and he is able to hold the ball. He always looks kind of awkward doing it, but he still is able to hold the ball and just keep possession for his team. So I think he does a good job with outlet play. He doesn't have the pace. I agree. He's not exactly the strongest, but he's got, subtle strength. And he's tall, and he just finds a way to score goals. So I disagree completely on that front. Matt, anything you would like to add before we talk about managers here?
No, I think we got it. We're not.
All right. Last segment here from ESPN FC. Number 1 is managers. So number 1 is Pep Guardiola. 2, Jurgen Klopp. 3, Diego Simeone. There it is. 4, Allegri from Juve, and 5, Maurizio Sarri. Christian, I think you're up first. So what do you think about those?
Mourinho's not even in the top 10, which just makes me so happy because it's hilarious. All right, 1 and 2, I agree 100%. They are number 1 and number 2, Guardiola, Klopp, best managers in the world. After that, Diego Simeone is fantastic, honestly. I really don't know if you can doubt his quality at number 3, and I think that makes sense. He has gotten that team to perform over and over again without the budget of Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that really can't go unnoticed.
Took all the words I was planning in my head.
And Massimo Allegri, no, I don't agree. Should be in the top 5.
Oh, I disagree.
Really?
He's done fantastic with Juve.
I guess. I mean, he's had such a budget. He just bought a lot of good players. I don't know if it's really.
I disagree with that because they were kind of a tactical mess after Conte left because Conte just burns bridges and all of that. And I think he did a really good job of stabilizing them and has kept them motivated. He's been there for 4 or 5 years, which is a long time from a Juve perspective. But sorry, continue.
I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I just don't think.
It sounded like you were saying he was a bad manager.
I think you're a bad manager. So. Maurizio Sarri, I think also at 5 is way too high. I think he came out flying with Chelsea, and that may have played a role in when they was voted on.
Also,
But
how
yeah, I was
Napoli?
gonna say, do you know what
mean,
Napoli did last year?
They basically pushed Juve to the
Yeah,
very end.
last
He hasn't
game.
won anything as a manager.
He hasn't won anything, but
What has
I mean,
Klopp won?
yeah.
He's won Bundesligas. What do you mean?
Yeah,
When
but
was the last time he won a trophy?
It doesn't matter.
What does that matter?
You just no.
You're
it's
contradicting
different.
yourself.
It's different.
Oh
The
my
Serie
god.
A is a joke of a league. No offense,
Oh my
everybody.
god.
But
Wait, so is Liverpool better than Juve?
not right now. No.
So why does Sarri get not credit for almost beating Juve?
What are you talking
With-
about?
Napoli with their budget.
Are you comparing the Premier League's next teams to the Serie A's? Because it's not even close. Not even close.
I'm comparing the top team versus the second team.
It's pretty close. I mean, the way
It's
Napoli
not
played
close.
last year,
Inter.
It's not close.
I'm gonna give a Premier League bias. Matt, what are your thoughts on managers?
I think the top 5 are actually correct.
I think Pochettino deserves to be in there for sure. Hands down, he deserves to be in the top 5.
over.
He should
So
be
wait,
number 4.
so you're saying Sarri hasn't won anything, but Pochettino deserves to be in there.
It's different. It's different.
Why is that
Sorry, it's
different?
different. Pochettino's in a higher stress environment. Like it's very different, and
He
competing
is the best striker in the world.
That's not. And Ancelotti also is a fantastic manager, and I think he should be up there,
Fair enough.
even though he's at Napoli.
Yeah, I know we.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say right now.
Yeah, I know I just harped on sorry, but I will actually say I like Pochettino a little bit more. It's probably just my familiarity with the Premier League. I would put Pochettino at 5.
Sarri is winning games with David Luiz starting.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But yeah, I mean, these managers are fantastic. I think there are a lot of up and coming managers like in the Bundesliga that maybe just don't get a lot of credit, whether it's, Nagelsmann or someone like that might be breaking through onto these lists in the future. But yeah, I think all of this.
Why is
pretty much makes
Tuchel on
sense.
this list?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Just
At
hands down,
number
no.
9, the Brazilian manager is who Christian's referencing. Matt, anything else to add here?
I think the top 5 is exactly correct.
Okay. Christian.
I think you have to get Deschamps into the top 5 just because he won the World Cup. Like I feel like you have to put him.
There you go. Okay.
So we just randomly pick which trophies mean
yes,
the most.
that's how it works, Matt. That's how you.
That's how the
analyze.
Ballon d'Or is selected.
That's how you
Yeah.
analyze. All right. I wanted to quickly talk about this. We're running a little long, so stick with us. Stu Holden and Steve Nash recently commentated
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
on a on a Champions League game, Tottenham versus Barcelona. I know there was a lot of feedback on social media that people did not like it. It was much more of a conversational sort of commentary versus the traditional sort of play-by-play guy and then the color commentator. God, it sounds so weird saying that, but commentator is the right
That
word.
is the right word.
I actually didn't have a problem with it. I think it was an issue that it was Tottenham versus Barcelona, and there were so many implications on the game. Like, it was a huge game. They probably should have experimented with a different comment,
could say.
during a different game. But Matt, I don't know. Did you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I only saw the Twitter kind of backlash of it. I may or may not have seen legal or illegal streams of the game without sound.
There you go.
May or may not have. But yeah, I didn't watch the actual game. I didn't know how bad they were, but like the way the Twitter reacted was acting like it was the worst announcing of a game in history.
Yeah, and I just think people get so bent out of shape and just so prim and proper. It always has to be like this way, and they just it's not a big deal. It's just guys talking. Like, I don't know. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, Christian. I know you didn't see it, but or hear it.
In the studio, they seem all right though. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually disagree. Their studio, the Bleacher Report. All right, let's go on this rant. Bleacher Report. I hate when after the first half.
I hate you.
No. When the first half ends, they go to a commercial break. They come back to Kate Abdo for a 10-second clip, and she says, "We'll be right back after this break." Just do a longer commercial break or do longer breaks in between. But I hate that sort of thing. And then in the studio, they're opening up a little bit, but they have been so just rigid. So whether it's Bocanegra, Tim Howard, and Maurice Edu, they have just been Stu Holden brings the personality, and he's obviously more comfortable. He's been on television a lot more, but I just feel like everyone else has just been so reserved. There's not a lot of energy coming through, and I feel like that's impacted me like watching the broadcast. So that's been a disappointment.
So I just like to say they could come on the podcast and get some experience talking to a camera.
We'd be
if they
happy
really
to help them.
Need to practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Do you want my
Excellent
actual
point.
thoughts
Yeah. Well,
on
yeah.
the question.
Yes.
Okay. So what I think about this is that it's fine. I really like this commentary style, honestly. We kind of were talking about, and let us know your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Good job.
Talking
Nice.
about, or nope, doing a podcast while watching a game live. And it'll be just like us conversing kind of like this, a little bit more informal, I would say.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the game and also just talking about life, talking about everything that's happening in soccer and probably life. Who knows what we'll be talking about. But it's just a little inside look into what we do when we're watching a game. And I think that's kind of cool. Sorry, that was my plug for that. So I think it's kind of cool that they do this. It's just like people talking, and it's really interesting that they took a different approach to it.
Yeah, I was fine. And then the last piece, I know Steve Nash was a Tottenham fan, and I honestly didn't even really realize he was a Tottenham fan until the last like 10 to 15 minutes when like he started to actually like root on air, but it never like felt over the top. And granted, I'm a neutral, so if I was a Barcelona fan, it might have felt a bit annoying, but I didn't think it was too terrible. So I don't know. That's where I stand. Matt, anything else to add here before we talk about our listener questions real quick?
No, I also don't have a problem with like announcers kind of showing, especially if it's like the end of the game, like showing like what team they support. I mean, like if we're watching an international match and
A Nash.
well, yeah, match. Yeah, I would kind of. Well, I know that we are watching an American stream, but like I always like how the commentators are somewhat pulling for America without like saying like they're pulling for. I think like Ian Dark, whereas like he's not American, but like you could tell he's always rooting for America. Like so, like, I don't have a problem with it, but I know it is my team. I'm also rooting.
Yeah, but it was also like it was.
Or it could be like the British who are rooting against their team. It seems like every time.
Yeah, well, no, but so with Steve Nash, it wasn't the way Ian Dark does it in a very professional sort of way.
Yeah,
like he was like gasping on air and just like, oh, get in there, like. He was doing some things, so it was like a little bit much, but again, I didn't mind it too much. So let us know your thoughts again at BT Soccer Pod. Let us know on Twitter. Go check out the Soccer Tavern YouTube channel. It's got videos about the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. Listener questions this week. We just have one from at the Free Kick Pod. Computer's freaking out as I ask the question. Who will be the first to go, Mourinho or Pogba? Matt.
Okay, Mourinho.
Christian.
Mourinho.
I agree.
It's actually getting way closer than I thought.
Yeah.
Now that we're entering January and nothing
could you imagine
seems
if
to
Pogba
happen
leaves
with
this
Mourinho?
January, what happens?
It is.
they
Again,
both
it is
just
getting
leave?
They're both
dangerous. It seems like such like a clear answer that it's Mourinho, but it's turning out to be not as clear as we're thinking.
Yeah, because Pogba's just not even. I mean, but he hasn't started
He
in
didn't
3
even
or 4
come.
matches.
He didn't even come in the game today.
Yeah, it
when
was,
they needed a goal. Like what?
Yes.
Like Fellaini is the answer.
Yeah. So while we've been recording, Soccer Swap at Soccer Swap on Twitter sent us a message. Can we do a 45 segment on Liverpool beating United? 19-point gap. No,
Mind the gap.
we're not. We're not going to do that, but yes, we are super excited. I'm wearing my Liverpool kit right now. And top class finish soccer asked, who is the bigger shithead, Pogba or Mourinho? Matt.
Oh, okay, Mourinho.
Yeah, Christian.
Definitely Mourinho.
Yeah, it's got to be Mourinho. Yeah, Pogba just likes to have fun.
Yeah, so I was like,
Pogba's kind of douchey, but I still think
Yeah, but
Mourinho
shithead,
is
I
just
feel like-
actually
shithead.
an asshole.
No,
exactly.
So yeah, as I was like looking at like topics for this week, I was like scrolling through headlines, and I just see Mourinho say, "I don't think we need anybody in January." It's just like
Or
what a
the,
shithead thing to say. Like, look
Or
where you are
walking
in the
into an
table.
interview and not finding his water and saying, "Oh, we must be
I
saving
was okay.
up."
No, that was a joke.
It was a joke.
You
but
just
I also
hate the guy.
hate him
Yeah,
because he's
just
the
fucking
worst.
Get over it. All right. So for me, I didn't have that big of a problem with it. Christian, you want to recap our trivia question? I like that we're
Don't
together.
touch me.
I like that we're together. We can just, touch each other and tickle.
No.
All right, what's the trivia
No.
question? All right, what's the trivia question?
So the trivia question this week is about Mohamed Salah of Liverpool. So it is, how many goals and assists combined, so total points as we call it in America, does he have in his 39 appearances at Anfield for Liverpool?
So a goal is worth 2 points
No,
and
no,
an
no,
assist
no,
is
no,
worth
Just like
no,
total.
no, no.
Okay.
Each one.
Okay, combined.
Yes.
Because that isn't how Americans would score it. But okay.
Really?
I don't know. I'm going off the hockey system, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No.
39?
That's Canada.
Okay, so you're gonna say 39 games. I'm gonna say 50 at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna say
50.
56.
Okay, guys, that was really high. I mean, Matt was very close, but yours was very high.
I was gonna say 50.
48.
I was gonna say 50, and then he took 50, so I went high.
His 48.
Ah!
He has 48, 35 goals, 13 assists in his 39 games at Anfield.
Awesome. So yeah, he's had a hell of a start to
48
life
in my head, literally the whole time.
at Liverpool. If you like,
because I left it up on my phone.
if you liked
as
what
I-
you heard here, apologize for the dogs upstairs. Parents are home. Please leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you listen to us on. It helps immensely. Christian, can you tell people about Slack channel real quick?
Yeah, our Slack channel is bros dash. Is it dash or just regular?
Just hit us up on Twitter if you want access to it, because
Okay.
you
Oh,
can't,
we
you
have to
can't just
invite.
join.
We have to
Yeah.
invite.
So,
Okay.
but tell
So
people
the
what
Slack
it is.
channel is just it's intermingling of either with us or with anyone involved in our
fans.
channel. Yeah, it's just soccer fans. We have a bunch of different channels in our Slackyverse, and you can go in there and talk about any type of league. We have a channel for. If we don't have it, please let us know, and we'll add one for you. You can talk about transfer rumors. We can talk about EA gaming, like FIFA, or any type of gaming, any type of thing like that. That's really,
Soccer-related material.
Yeah,
Soccer
exactly. We're
related.
just talking with other
I
soccer
mean,
fans.
we also have a
Have fun.
general, which you can talk about anything
Yeah,
that
and
you want.
it gets
Yeah, if you guys
weird.
need
It gets
anything,
weird in there
get weird.
sometimes.
Need anything, just anything going on in your life, just
Just
post it in there.
Yeah,
All right.
just make a life coach channel, right?
Yep. Also, if you want to support the show, hit us up. Like, let us know if you have any suggestions. We're trying to figure out how to grow this, support the show. Patreon. If you have other suggestions on things you might be willing to support, let us know. We're going to be doing more merch sales. I think in January or
Merch.
February. We'll do a sweatshirt sale. Matt, where can people find us on Twitter?
People can find us on Twitter at BT Soccer Pod.
And what's our email?
Our email is bros.talking.soccer@gmail.com.
And our website?
Our website is brostalkingsoccerpodcast.com.
What can people do there?
People can read about us, check out past episodes, and use the Amazon store where they use our code or
They click the link.
click the link on our site, and then we get a small percentage, no additional cost to you. We'll
Buy
just help out
whatever
the
you
show,
want.
help us monetize, grow.
Exactly. So, with the holidays coming up, people buying stuff on Amazon. If you just go to our store link on our site, click on the Amazon link, it'll take you to Amazon, the Amazon site. But whatever you end up purchasing there, we get a small percentage. Again, just a couple additional steps for you, no additional cost, and it helps support the show. Christian, thank you so much for being here and talking with me this week.
Dave, it's been fun. I don't know why your screen says Scooby-Doo,
Uh,
but
that-
I do want to know.
That was from last week. So I write down the episode names.
Oh.
So that was our episode name from last week. Glad you pay attention and listen to the episodes. Matt, thank you for being here.
Hey, Dave, thanks for having me.
All right, guys, listeners, thank you so much for being here. We will be together again next week. I think that'll be the last time we're together. And we have an interview episode with our father coming up this Thursday. We're going to be talking with him.
What?
Yeah, you guys
about?
didn't know that. Yeah, we're going to be talking about him. So he's been a youth referee for a number of years. He was an administrator in youth soccer, and so he's got a lot of he's a coach.
He
So
was the head of our club.
he's got a lot of different varied experience in the soccer world. So we're going to be
He was
chatting
a
with
former
him
player.
this week, and a former player in Philadelphia back in the day. So listeners, thank you. Look for that on Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon. See you, everybody.
Long time ago.
Yes, listeners or viewers of the podcast on YouTube, thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon. I have to pee so bad.
Bye-bye.